Welcome to Essential Dialogues.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into something that's got the financial world buzzing. It's the launch of the Ethiopian Securities Exchange,
Right.
or ESX. And you might be thinking to yourself,
Yeah.
Ethiopia,
Right.
a stock exchange. But trust me, this is a big deal.
It is.
And we've got the insights to tell you exactly why.
What I think is really interesting here is that Ethiopia is aiming to be a major player. They want to be a financial hub.
Oh, wow.
They're not just dipping their toes in the water here.
Yeah.
They're saying they want the ESX to be one of the top 5 exchanges in all of Africa.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit.
Yeah.
On January 10th, 2025, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed himself rang the bell, officially opening the ESX for business.
It's a big deal.
And even called on investors to get in on the ground floor.
Yeah.
But hold on a second. Didn't Ethiopia try this whole stock market thing before?
They did.
I feel like I've heard that somewhere before.
Yeah. You're right. Ethiopia actually had a stock market back in the 1960s.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it was shut down during the Derg regime.
Right.
So the ESX's launch, it's more than just a financial milestone this time.
Yeah.
It's a powerful symbol, I think, of Ethiopia's economic transformation and their commitment to open markets.
So it really sounds like they're serious this time.
They are.
About attracting investment and jumpstarting growth. But what's the big picture here? Like, why should investors even care about what's happening over in Ethiopia?
Well, Ethiopia is already the 3rd largest economy in sub-Saharan Africa.
Wow.
And it's projected to grow by, get this, a whopping 8.45% this year.
Oh, wow.
With the ESX now in play, businesses have a new way to raise capital.
Yeah.
And this could really supercharge that growth.
So are you saying that this is like a big opportunity for investors to get in early on a booming economy?
Exactly. But it's not just about the growth potential. The ESX is also aiming to provide alternative financing options for businesses. Their goal is to list 90 companies. 90 companies.
Wow.
Suddenly having access to a whole new pool of capital.
That's a lot of potential investment flowing into Ethiopia.
It is.
Sounds like they're really trying to make a splash with this. But let's dive a little deeper into the specifics of how the ESX is actually going to work. I understand they have these 3 key segments.
Right.
Could you break those down for us a little bit?
Of course. So the first is the equity market, which is where companies issue stocks. So you buy a stock, you own a piece of that company.
Okay, so that's the one that most people are familiar with.
Right.
What about the other 2 segments?
So the second is the fixed income market.
Okay.
And this is where you'll find bonds and other debt securities. Think of it as like lending money to a company or the government.
Okay.
They pay you back with interest.
Gotcha.
And finally, there's the money market, which is all about short-term borrowing and lending. Usually it's banks and other financial institutions that are playing around in this space.
Gotcha. Okay, so they've got, stocks, bonds, short-term lending. It's a pretty comprehensive setup.
Yeah.
They've got something for everyone.
Yeah, it seems that way.
But what's really caught my eye is their focus on Sharia-compliant financial products.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They're even offering sukuk bonds, which are structured to comply with Islamic law.
Right. That's a really interesting aspect of the ESX. It's a clear sign that they're committed to inclusivity.
Oh, wow.
And attracting a diverse range of investors.
Okay.
By tapping into the Islamic finance market, they're opening the door to a massive pool of capital that might not have otherwise even considered investing in Ethiopia.
So tell me, what are sukuk bonds exactly?
Okay.
And why are they such a big deal?
Well, sukuk bonds are a bit different from conventional bonds.
Okay.
In Islamic finance, charging interest is prohibited. So sukuk bonds are structured to avoid that.
Okay.
They're tied to an underlying asset, like real estate or infrastructure.
Gotcha.
And investors share in the profits generated by that asset.
So it's less about lending money and more about investing in a tangible project and sharing in its success.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I bet that appeals to a lot of investors who are looking for ethical and socially responsible investment options.
Absolutely. And it also opens up new avenues for development projects in Ethiopia.
Oh, wow.
Imagine being able to fund infrastructure projects like roads or hospitals using sukuk bonds.
Yeah.
That could be a game changer for the country's growth.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So this could attract investors who want to support positive social impact.
Right.
alongside financial returns.
Absolutely.
This all sounds really great, but are there any risks involved with this? I mean, Ethiopia is a developing country, and, there's always political and economic uncertainty in that part of the world. How does all that factor into the equation?
Yeah, you're right. There are always risks associated with investing in any emerging market.
Yeah.
But what's encouraging here is that the Ethiopian government seems very committed to making this work.
Okay.
They've been implementing economic reforms, trying to open up the market, attract foreign investment. The launch of the ESX is a big part of that strategy.
So you're saying that their commitment to reform helps mitigate some of that risk?
Exactly. And it's not just about government policies either.
Okay.
The ESX itself is designed with investor protection in mind.
Okay.
They're adhering to international standards for transparency and regulatory oversight.
But let's be honest here. Setting up a successful stock market takes time.
Absolutely.
It's not an overnight success story.
No, it's not. Building trust with investors takes time.
Right.
You need to have transparency, strong regulations,
Yeah.
and you need to attract a diverse range of companies to list on the exchange.
Right.
But Ethiopia seems to be taking all the right steps to create a sustainable and vibrant capital market.
Yeah. And, from what we've seen so far, they're not just focusing on traditional sectors. They seem to be really keen on attracting tech companies.
Yeah.
And fostering innovation.
That's right.
That's pretty exciting, wouldn't you say?
It is. Ethiopia's tech sector is already growing rapidly.
Wow.
And the ESX could provide the fuel to really take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Imagine a young Ethiopian tech company full of brilliant minds, but lacking the capital to expand.
Right.
The ESX gives them a platform to access funding, grow their business, and potentially even become the next big tech giant.
It's like a launch pad for innovation.
Exactly.
Gives them a chance to compete on a global stage. And think of all the ripple effects of that. As the tech sector grows, it creates jobs, it attracts more foreign investment,
right,
and it stimulates the whole economy.
Precisely. And it's not just about technology either.
Okay.
The ESX has the potential to impact every sector of the Ethiopian economy.
Wow.
Think about agriculture, manufacturing, tourism. All these industries can benefit from having access to this new source of capital.
So we've got this ambitious new exchange.
Yeah.
A rapidly growing economy.
Right.
And a government that's really committed to making this whole thing work.
Seems like it.
What does all this mean for investors?
It's an exciting opportunity, that's for sure. Ethiopia is a country on the move. And the ESX gives investors a chance to be a part of that growth story. But as with any investment, it's crucial to do your homework.
So don't just jump in blindly because it sounds exciting.
Exactly. You need to research the companies that are listed on the ESX. Look at their financials, their growth prospects, their management team, and really understand the risks and the regulatory environment. But if you approach this strategically, the ESX could be a very rewarding addition to your investment portfolio.
It really sounds to me like the ESX is more than just a stock market. It's like a symbol of Ethiopia's ambition.
It is.
Their desire to connect with the global economy.
Right.
And their commitment to, a brighter future.
I think that's a great way to put it. The ESX is a statement to the world that Ethiopia is open for business, open to innovation, and open to investment.
And for investors that are out there looking for the next big thing, the next frontier, well, Ethiopia might just be it.
It just might be.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the ESX's ambitious goals to the potential risks and rewards for investors.
We have.
But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, which was the ESX's commitment to inclusivity and attracting a diverse range of investors.
Yeah.
That seems to be like a recurring theme here.
It is, and it's not just lip service either.
Right.
They're taking concrete steps to make investing accessible to a wider audience.
Oh, wow.
For example, they're working on developing a mobile trading platform that's going to allow people to invest using their phones.
So you're saying that like someone in a rural village with just a mobile phone could potentially invest in the Ethiopian stock market?
Exactly. It breaks down the traditional barriers to entry and opens up investment opportunities to people who might never have considered them before.
That's incredible.
And this aligns with Ethiopia's broader goals of financial inclusion and empowering its citizens.
So it sounds like they're trying to build a truly inclusive and democratic stock market.
Yeah.
one that benefits, everyone,
Yeah.
not just the wealthy elite.
That's the idea, and it's a powerful one if they can pull it off.
Yeah.
They could have a transformative impact on Ethiopia's economy and society.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some key takeaways for our listeners that might be thinking, hey, maybe I should look into this?
I'd say first and foremost, keep an eye on the ESX.
Okay.
This is a story that is still unfolding,
Mm-hmm.
and it has the potential to be a game changer.
Right.
Second, do your research. Ethiopia is an exciting market
Yeah.
with a lot of potential, but it's important to understand the risks involved.
So don't just chase returns without understanding, the bigger picture.
Exactly. Look at the specific companies listed on the ESX,
Right.
their financials, their growth prospects, and make informed decisions.
Okay, so diversification is key.
Absolutely.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your investments across different asset classes and different geographies to manage your risk.
That's great advice. And finally, don't be afraid to seek out expert advice.
Okay.
There are people who specialize in emerging markets and can really help you navigate this new landscape.
So the launch of the Ethiopian Securities Exchange is a major development,
It is.
not just for Ethiopia, but for the entire region. It's a story of ambition, innovation, and inclusivity. And it's a story that's worth watching closely.
It is. And for those who are willing to do their homework
Right.
and embrace the opportunity, it could be a very rewarding journey.
That's all the time we have for today's deep dive into the Ethiopian Securities Exchange. We hope you found it insightful. If you did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Essential Dialogues podcast for more explorations into the world's most fascinating trends and events. We'll see you next time.